is still learning target 5. We're going to take this verbal description and still create our linear equation. So we're still going to write our y equals mx plus b. Okay, so our success criteria is first know the slope-intercept form. Okay, so go ahead and write it if you know it. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Again, we're going to be using that all through learning target 5. Okay, now we're going to identify the number next to the key terms. These are our key terms if you have your highlighter here. Our key terms are per, each, every. Okay, so wherever we have a verbal description, our rate of change is by these key terms, per, each, and every. Then we're going to identify the y-intercept as our starting point. Let me use a different color. Starting point or the beginning of the information. It's going to be one of those two things that's going to be our y-intercept. Okay, then we're going to use all of this information to write our slope-intercept form. And one more time, let's write it. Wrong pen. Y equals mx plus b. All right, example 1. So last week, Faith had 7,000 followers. So that's a number we're probably going to underline. We don't know what we're going to use it for yet. On her Instagram account. This week, she gained 500 followers per day. What is her rate of change for the number of followers gained per day? And write an equation in the slope-intercept form to see how many followers she has total. All right, so it told us that the rate of change was identified by these keywords, per, each, and every. Out of both of those numbers, which one had the word per, each, or every next to it? Yeah, you're right. Look at that right there. 500 followers per day. So that tells us that her rate of change, or you can say slope, or you can say M, all of that's the same, is 500. So her M is 500. That was the first question. Second question says, write an equation in slope-intercept form. We've written this equation before. Let's rewrite it again. Y equals, good, mx plus b. So we got our M. That's the per. So she's gaining 500 per day. And now let's look at our success criteria again. Identify the y-intercept as the starting point or the beginning. So let's read it again. Last week, Faith had 7,000 followers on her Instagram. So right there, it tells us where we started from. So we're going to label that as our starting point, which is our B, 7,000. Excellent. Now let's substitute everything in. So this is where B goes. This is where M goes. Our answer is going to be Y equals 500x plus 7,000. You have written your first equation from the verbal description. All right, let's try example 2. So Eric's scouting troop has $18 in their activity account. So that's an important number. Let's highlight or circle it. They sell raffle tickets for $2.50 each. I see a keyword there. After selling X amount of tickets, there will be a total of Y dollars in the activity account. Write an equation in slope-intercept form to show the total amount of dollars. All right, let's start with our two things we need. We need our M and we need our B. See if you can identify your M and B. Let's go back up to the success criteria. The rate of change, which is our M, is identified by per, each, or every. And I seen that word each right there. So then our raffle tickets is our rate of change. So every raffle ticket he sells, the total amount changes. So the more he sells, the more money he makes. So that's our changing rate. 250 for one, 250 times two, 250 times three, it's changing. Now our starting point, our B, let's go back up to our success criteria. Starting point or the beginning. How much did Eric's group start with? There it is right there. This one's pretty simple. All right, let's put it together in our slope-intercept form. First thing we're going to do is write the slope-intercept form. Y equals, what is it, guys? Good, mx plus b. Now let's substitute everything in. So y equals, we're going to write 250x plus, how much do they start with? You got it. Good job. All right, we have 2 practice problems here. Sorry, Mr. Guzman's always messing up the numbers. That's number 2. I want you to try both of them on your own. Pause the video, and then when you play it back, you'll see the answers. All right, please begin. All right, we have Mr. Guzman has $18 in her cash register in the lunch line. And each lunch, that word each, costs $2.50. After X more students have purchased lunches, there's a total of Y dollars in Mrs. De Guzman's cash register. Write an equation in slope-intercept form to show the total amount of dollars in her cash register. All right, first thing we're going to do is identify M, identify B, and then write it in our slope-intercept, which is Y equals, you got it, mx plus b. All right, out of these 2 numbers here, our M, our rate of change, is identified back to my success criteria as per, each, and every. Mr. Guzman has $18 in her cash register. Each lunch right there, bam. Oops. So that's her rate of change. So therefore, this is her starting point. Let's go ahead and write that in our equation. If you got that right, give yourself a pat on the back. You are doing fabulous. All right, let's see how you did on practice number 2. A plant is 7 inches tall. Each week, there's that word each, it grows an additional 1.25 inches. After X weeks, the plant will be Y inches tall. Write an equation in slope-intercept form to show the total amount of inches the plant has grown. And if you haven't noticed, I haven't mentioned it, this is called slope-intercept form because in the equation, we identify the slope, there it is, M, and we identify the y-intercept. So that's why it's called slope-intercept. All right, cool. So let's identify the slope and let's identify the y-intercept. So again, the slope or the rate of change, something that it's changing by. So it said each week. What's happening each week, guys? That's right. The plant is growing 1.25 inches. And how tall was the plant in the beginning? What is our starting point? 7 inches. So let's write our answer. If you all got this one right, You are, again, fabulous. Good work.